So hello everyone, it's Dead Videos here, and this game may or may not be familiar to you. It's relatively new to me. I saw it a couple weeks ago. Some people were playing it, mainly some guy named NerdCube. You may have heard of him. I'm going to turn the volume down. Sound I'm going to turn back up. Music, turn that down a little bit further. It's because that is loud as hell. Coming through my headset, that is loud as hell. Anyway, so, yeah, like I said, you may have seen this game, you may not have seen this game. It is a roguelike, so it's, permadeath. If you die permanently, and you have to start over from the beginning. It's pretty fun. You can get through the game in about an hour if you're good, and lucky. Yeah, I say good and lucky. There's a huge debacle going on right now on the forums for this game. It's, the whole game's luck-based, do-do-do-do. I personally believe it's both luck and skill, because I have horrible luck in this game, and I've still gotten to the end of the game. I've never beaten it, but I've gotten to the end of the game. And I've gotten, like I said, I've gotten to the end of the game, so I've gotten pretty far on just skill alone. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest player at this game ever, but it doesn't take that much. Anyway, let's start up this game, shall we? Basically, you take the ship, you pilot the ship, and you go kill other ships. However, because I have played a little bit of the game, I also have this ship, which is the NG Cruiser. This is the Kestrel. Basically, this world is kind of... Well, it'll explain in-game. We'll explain it in-game. So, let's see. I want to use... No, I want to use the NG Cruiser. Yeah, I want to use the NG Cruiser. Anyway. So we have our three starting crew members here. We can rename them. We have this guy, Jorlak. Oni is going to be our pilot, so we will rename him Picard, just because we can. Because... Where's my mouse? Mouse. There we go. Okay. Accept. Fairy. Oh my god, Fairy! Oh my god! In my very first game, I had a guy named Fairy. He died! He was my security chief. You, my friend, are gonna get to be weapons. Anyway. And Jorlak, you will be engines. Or shields. I'm not sure which one yet. I'll explain a little bit more once we actually get into the game and I can start explaining. Let's see. The data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for the journey, so make sure to explore each sector before moving on to the next. But get to the exit before the pursuing rebel fleet can catch up. Tip solar flares. Solar flares will cause hull damage in addition to starting fire. Make sure your shields are up and Make sure your shields are up to help mitigate the effect. Okay, so we are one of the last ships of the Federation. And basically the rebellion the rebels have almost completely destroyed the Federation. So, we have information that is vital to the resistance of the Federation. We need the Federation to survive, and we have information that will help us survive. We have to get to the end of the sectors, or a couple sectors down, 8 sectors approximately, could be 9, where the Federation base is. However, on our way there, we're being chased by the rebel fleet, and you don't want them to catch you. Okay, so first of all, these blue ones right here, these are nebulas. If you go into the nebula, it'll slow down the pursuit of the rebels. So, yeah. Anyway, also you can just explore these at will. You can get upgrades so you can see what's going on in here and whatnot. But for the moment, you're flying blind. I completely forgot to rearrange my guys. You arrive in an asteroid belt to discover that a rebel automated scout has been stationed here. Prepare for a fight! Very interestingly, the very first thing we have to deal with is an asteroid belt. Asteroid belts, are a constant danger to your ship. As the battle continues, asteroids will periodically crash into both your ship and the enemy ship. They will do damage to shields, and they will destroy your hull if they hit your hull. They only do 1 damage, but you can get things to shoot them down, or just get better shields so that your shields don't go down. Anyway, I need to rearrange my crew. Picard, you are the pilot. Jorlak, you are shields. And Fairy, you are weapons. Now, 4 of these stations can be manned. The pilot station can be manned, that's what Picard's gonna do. The weapon station can be manned, and the shields and engines can be commanded as well. These guys, Fairy and Jorlak, are engineers, or engies, as they're called in-game. Basically, they can fix systems really, really quickly, but their combat is not exactly the best in the world. But they can fix things really quickly. In fact, twice as fast as anyone else, and humans are just, 100% on everything, nothing special. There are people that have higher attack, higher speed, more health, less speed, more unique abilities, things like that. Anyway, so we need to power up our weapons here, so we can just click on that. And I don't think we need... Well, actually, we do need it, because we only have an ion blast as our main weapon. And because this is an automated ship, there's no life support to knock out. Ion blast weapons will do damage to systems, but not actual damage. It'll just knock them offline like an EMP for a little while. So if you're against a ship with crew, you can hit their oxygen supply over and over and over again with it, and it'll eventually just kill them, because they have no oxygen, which is really cool. And if you really want to be a douche to your crew, you can open up these doors, which are, you can tell they go out to space. And that's the airlock, so don't do that. The NG ship comes equipped with drones, and if you click on the drone, you can see, now suddenly, there's a little dude over here. There's also a dude floating next to me. You notice that I have one of these, and he has one of them as well. That is a drone control center, and it allows you to control drones. We both have a drone. I'm not sure what type his is. I think it's the same type as mine. So it's going to shoot at us repeatedly. The thing is, though, it won't be able to get through our shields very well. The problem with that is he's right there, and he has multiple lasers. Now, our drone's over there as well, and it'll shoot at him, and it'll probably do more than his drone, but we need to target our weapons. So, because our weapon is ion-based, and can't actually do any damage, what we should do is target their shields to keep them offline, and then our drone can just beat the living crap out of them, because the drone does not fire ion cannons. Oh no. So I know I'm kind of getting into this right quickly, but I just want to say, Dark Cloud 2, still a thing. I'm just going to do 2 series at once now, because now I'm slightly more set up with everything that I'm doing, so I can record more and whatnot. I figure I'll roll 2 series at once, and I really want to play FTL right now. And I've barely played it at all, but, oh man, what I have played so far is so much fun that I want to share it. I just want to share it. And it's one of those games, I bought the game so I could do a Let's Play of it. The Let's Play of this game will end when we beat the game. The problem with beating the game is because I said this is a roguelike, so it has permadeath. So we could literally be here for 1,000 episodes and we may not beat the game. I'm not even kidding. Now, admittedly, it probably won't take us 1,000 episodes, but you never know. It might. Who knows? This could be the longest running series on YouTube ever. Probably not, but it's possible. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Alright, so now we have our weapon targeted here, and if we click auto-fire, it'll automatically fire over and over again. Now, in some cases, you don't want to use that. Some cases, you want to fire, you want to say, oh, I want this weapon to fire, then this weapon to fire. But if you just set them all on auto-fire, well, then you have a problem. Because, yeah, anyway. Next thing you have to monitor up here is fuel, missiles, and drone parts. Drone parts, are used to deploy drones, so this guy and whatnot. Fuel is made for making jumps from system to system, and missiles are, well, made for launching missiles. Anyway, in a moment here, because I have the weapon activated now, and because I'm paused, and you can give orders while paused, which just makes this absolutely amazing. You'll see, as soon as I unpause, this weapon will pop out, all these guys will start moving around and whatnot. And if you actually select them, you should be able to see where they're going. Yeah, you can see a little dot, the little green dots, that means someone's going there. Anyway, so if we unpaused, oh, because I told Picard to go into a room that had a full amount of people in it, he didn't actually realize that. If you have a pilot, it gives you a higher chance of evading. If you have more power to the engines, it gives you a better chance of evading, things like that. I'm going to turn off the medbay right now, actually, by right-clicking on it. And you can take power away from that. You can see I get 1 power here, and I'm going to give this extra power to the engines. Because there's no one manning it, I feel like it should have extra power. You can see when you highlight down here, the relevant system up there becomes yellow. So you can see there's the drones, the pilot, sensors. Sensors are very important. You can see how this guy's ships, they're all black in there, but mine are all white. If you upgrade your sensors, you can actually see inside of enemy ships. And that's important. As you can see right now, he actually no longer have a shield. And there's a 1 right there. That means my drone, it hit him. It hit him good. That means it did damage. And if I can, his drone also hit me, so that's a problem. I'm trying to keep his weapons offline. Now see, now my engines are damaged. So what we do is we take our guy from shield him, because remember, these guys are extremely good at engineering, because they're Engies. We can just run over here, we can make him move over here, and he'll repair it. Now you'll notice, our drone damaged his drone control system. It means this drone, you notice the red light's gone on it, it is now dead. For the moment. If his drone system comes back online, it'll come back to life. But for the moment, it's offline and he can't do anything. And because the drone has damaged his weapons, one of his weapons is no longer online. He only has one left. And because we have minimal shielding, we should be okay. And because my Ion Blaster is still targeting his weapons, his shields, he's still offline. However, he has quite a few lasers. So, okay, now the drone has completely annihilated his weapons. So, one more hit, you can see here, one more hit and he's dead. He's taking about 4 or 5 damage off of me at the moment, and my engines are critical. But they're being repaired rather quickly, and he is now dead. Ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, missiles, drone parts, and scrap. For the moment, because I am using drones, I'm not going to be using missiles. That's kind of a rule, because there's too many things to keep up on, because you have to worry about drone parts and missiles. If you're really good at the game, then yeah, you could do that, but I'm not going to. So yeah, now we have our ship. Our drone is gone. The asteroids are still hitting our ship, but we have to wait for our FTL to power back up. But you'll notice, because we have someone in the engine room and in the pilot seat, the FTL is going up pretty damn quickly. Now, one thing we could also do, if we weren't in danger, we'd be able to click on this button and see some stats of our ship. So let's head this guy back over to Shields, where he's going to be doing more good. And as people work, they level up. So you can see right now, Jorlak, because he repaired the engines, has a tiny little mark on the wrench there, which means he's got some work there. And he has an even smaller mark on the shield, which you may not be able to see unless you're in 1080p in full screen. Fairy, because he's been manning the weapons, has a fairly a nice little piece of weapons, and Oni, well, not Oni. I'm gonna call him Oni all the time now because I know his real name is Oni, but he's Picard now. Oh look, an asteroid actually missed. Good job, Picard. You got hit by the other one though. Not a good job. Anyway, so now we can see. Now see, there's a distress signal coming from up here, so someone could be in danger or it could be a trap. But there's a store right there. The thing is though, I don't have a lot of money, so it's not like going to the store is gonna help me. So let's go to the distress beacon, hoping it's not another asteroid belt or a trap. You follow the distress beacon to a small... God damn it. You find a small ship struggling to maneuver through the field. They message you, help, our shields are down, I don't know how much longer we can last. Try to shield their ship with yours and escort them out of the field. So no matter what you choose, the outcome will always be different. There are several outcomes to each of these little events, and if you have a special crew member, or a special ability, or a special weapon, or something like that, it will give you a blue option, which is always a good thing. And you might get multiple of them, depending on how you have it. Like, if you have a cloaking system and an NG crewmate, there's something that you can do later. And even an ion weapon for that as well. Anyway, try to shield their ship. You try your best, but one stray rock hits a key structure in their ship, it breaks apart in front of your eyes. Damn, I've never managed to save those guys. I don't know what you need to save them. And try not to think about the lost crew. Well, we got 9 scrap, but everyone died. So... Okay, now you can see this is the ship menu. For upgrading, it's really simple. You just take your scrap and you spend it on these things. You can upgrade your reactor, which is the amount of power you have in the first place. You can upgrade your med bay. You can upgrade your drone control, weapon control, oxygen, engines, shields, and 2 things we don't have. That would be a crew teleporter and a cloaking system, I think. Pretty sure that's the only 2 we're missing. You can also see your doors, your sensors, and your piloting. You can see here, if you upgrade your piloting once, you get auto-evasion, which is pretty good, but it's not the best thing in the world, so I kind of ignore it for the moment. Especially early on, you don't have a lot of money. A cheap upgrade you can get here is the door system upgrade. So instead of having normal doors that open and close whenever someone walks up to them, including enemies, keep this in mind. Normal doors will just open for anyone. Level 2 or 3 doors don't. So let's say an enemy beams onto your ship, right? And they beam in, say, this room right here, or this room, the airlock. That would be awesome. If they beam straight into the airlock, because then you just open it up, and bam, suddenly they can no longer breathe. But if you have normal doors, they'll just walk right through and do that. But if you have blast doors, they'll be stuck in this room, hitting the door over and over again until it breaks. All the while, they're dying of lack of oxygen. That's pretty significant if you ask me. Now, Jorlak, our shields, I believe, yes, our shields, while he was in the engine room, he took some damage. You can see right there on his health bar, he's actually got a little smidgen missing. If you highlight over him, you can see health 85. Now, this ship comes default with a special upgrade called NG Medbot Dispersal. Floods the ship with NG Nano Medbots, healing the crew even when they are outside of the medbay at a reduced speed, of course. Now, we can park this guy in the medbay, and he'll heal up. The only problem with that is that the medbay isn't on, because we remember we turned it off to give extra power to the engine. So if we turn it back on, now, keep in mind, in normal battle, we wouldn't have those 2 extra power because they'd be powering our anti-ship drone. But now, he's healed up and ready to go. But if we were to have that medbay on during battle, even if there was no one in there, it would continuously heal our guys anyway because of the med bots, which are awesome. Anyway, but now we don't need it, we can turn that off. One thing I do want to do, I'm going to upgrade the medbay, believe it or not, because that makes the robots more useful. Next we should upgrade our reactor, obviously, because obviously you upgrade your reactor, you have more power to disperse between things. So, it's kind of important. So now you can see, the rebel fleet is imminently behind us. So, there's a store right there, but again, I have 0 cash, so screw that, I'm going in the Nebula. Nebulas will slow down the rebel fleet, like I said. It's worrying that rebels will penetrate so deep into uncharted space, even if it's only an unmanned craft. Its arms, its weapons, you should do the same. Oh, it's a drone. It's an auto scout. The thing is about this auto scout, it doesn't have a shield. However, it also doesn't have crew. So, it's automatic. So, because it doesn't have a shield, we're just going to continuously auto-fire on their weapons. Our weapons to keep them offline, while our drone does epic damage. Hopefully, our shields are faster than them. This right here, I should mention, is a missile launcher. Missiles go through shields. That's not a good thing. Including enemy missiles, they do go through shields. Enemies and you will both run out of missiles eventually, so you gotta use them sparingly. Now see, if I hadn't missed, I might have prevented that thing from coming online. But unless my drone hits the weapon... This is about to hurt, watch. Okay, see that's a problem. He just hit our O2 system, which is a problem. So because our shield guy isn't going to be doing anything in this battle, because shields are ineffective against missiles, he's going to run over there and fix the O2 system. Because just like I mentioned, drowning out your enemies with their O2, they can do the same thing to you. So you better keep that thing online. Now that the O2 is actually offline, you can actually see this little number right here, oxygen, at 92%. It goes down. It's going down right now. Their ship's dead, which is good. Their ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, fuel 3, 1 drone part, and 11 scrap. So, that's good. Oxygen is now back online. You can see now it's going to go back up. It goes up rather quickly, which is a good thing. You'll notice, before we could see all of our ship, now we can only see it when there's someone in that room. The reason for that is because we're in a nebula. Nebulas actually knock out sensors. So, yeah, there are ways to get them back online, even inside of a nebula, but they're pretty complexicated and not necessarily necessary at the moment. Especially since we don't need to see inside the enemy ship. And there's another distress beacon here, but there's nebula. And notice, they came in this far in the first one, now they slowed down that much because they don't know where I am anymore. So I'm going to take my time in the nebula and explore a bit. And then I'm going to jump to that distress beacon. I should be able to do it from that side. This drone isn't looking for you, perhaps it's scouting ahead for the rebel expansion, or maybe they're seeking to use this nebula for cover. Regardless, it identifies you as hostile. So we have another drone up, or we have another auto scout. Now remember, this is another one that does not have a shield, so just hammer away at its weapons again. So that should be relatively easy. I've never gotten this lucky before. Whenever I find enemies like this, they always have like 1,000 things. Here comes a missile. He hit an empty room, so we should be okay. But I'm gonna take my shield guy and check it out right now because we don't have sensors. So there could have been something wrong in that room. You can get a hull breach from missiles. Our engines are damaged. Important thing to realize is that missiles, especially missiles, and anything that has breach in the name, can cause breaches in your hull. And that means that that area will be vented to space regardless of the doors or the oxygen system, which is a bad thing. So it's not a good idea to let your ship get breaches in it. So if you get hit with that and your sensors are offline, if you can spare a crew member like I could, go and check it out at the very least. Just go check it out if you can. If you can't, oh well, do it next time. That's all I can say. Okay. This is bad. This is a plasma storm. I'm gonna pause. First of all, you're gonna notice one thing real quick. A lot of my things no longer have power. That's because a plasma storm takes away a hell of a lot of power from your reactor. The enemy doesn't seem to have any problems with this because they were prepared for it. However, you weren't. So, all of your things are offline, and you should probably leave as quickly as you possibly can. Because if you can't get your weapons online, how are you going to fight back? Because to get my weapons online, I have to take off my shields, my engines, and my oxygen supply. That's not happening. Now, admittedly, I could possibly kill my engines and bring on my anti-ship drone. That might work. The problem is, one anti-ship drone does not a fleet make. It might be able to win, but it might not. And without engines, we'd be not maneuverable. We would not be able to move, and we wouldn't be able to avoid incoming attacks. That's a slight problem. So, what we can do, though, is just wait. If we wait until our FTL comes back online, we can get out of here. One thing, if you're not going to fight back, at the very least, go over there, and I am going to turn off my engine. Oh, wait, no, I can't turn off my engines because then I can't FTL jump out of here. So I have to make a decision. Do I fight, or do I run? Because if I fight, I have to take off my engines. If I run, I can't bring any weapons online. So, you see my problem here. And you cannot depower subsystems, like your pilot or your doors or your sensors. They also don't take up power, as far as I know. So right now, we're sending Fairy over to the engines to help get them online, or to make them go faster. Because if they're crewed, they go slightly faster. So he's running down there, and he's running as fast as he humanly can. He's gonna get that system online and ready to go, because he's got weapons powering up. Okay, now I just realized, because it is an Ion Storm, he only has one weapon online, and it's the worst weapon in the game. It's called a basic laser. It can't do anything. So what we're gonna do is take the engines offline. We're gonna turn on the anti-ship drone, and we're gonna watch him die. Yay! It is literally the worst thing in the game. High chances is that the drone will be able to take care of this guy if he gets in a couple good shots like that. If you take out the pilots, they can no longer dodge. Enemies can dodge your shots as well, so it's important that you take those out. However, it looks like our drone might be able to do some damage here, because he did hit once, which means he'll be able to hit again. And drones have infinite ammo, so they can shoot all day long. And him, well, he's not getting through our shields anytime soon. If we could just fire one shot, we'd be able to help our drone. I have an idea. We're going to wait until this shot hits us, and then we're going to depower everything. Just to bring the weapons on for a split second. Because this ion blast only takes a couple seconds to charge, we should be able to charge it, fire his shields, turn our shields back on before he's able to fire again, because his weapon is unloaded right now. So we're going to turn ours on, and also without us dying of death. So we're going to try and fire his shield down. If we can hit his shield with an ion blast, and then immediately turn our engines back on, unpower the ion blast, turn our shields back on, and turn our O2 back on, we should be okay. Yes! We took out his shields! Now if our drone can hit the shields... Oh, he missed! He went for it, but he missed! Oh, no! Okay, not a problem. We'll just wait for him to do that again, and we'll do it again, because we can help in this fight. It's just gonna take us a little bit of tactics. And this is why I love this game. Even if you think you're in danger, you might not be. You might be okay. Oh, we missed too. Alright, bring the shields back online. Oh, bring the oxygen back online as well. Okay. Offline, ion blast. Let's hit his... What should we go for? We should hit his shields. We should definitely hit his shields. We have to hit his shields. Alright. Fire away. Shields on, oxygen online. I'm gonna wait for the oxygen to get back up to full here. Oh, he missed! Come on, hit him! Hit him! Hit him a couple times! Hit him in the shields! Hit him in the shields! Oxygen system, not a bad choice. Good job, robot. Alright, when he fires again, we'll do it again. Wait for it. There we go. It's off. It's on. Turn on the weapons. You can also press 1 as the hotkey for that, since we only have one weapon. Blast away! Excellent shot! Oh, took out one of his weapons. Oh, it's an oxygen system again. Oh, and the oxygen system is down completely! Oh my goodness. The only problem with this is because we took off his oxygen system, he was able to power up one of his other weapons. That looks like a hole laser. A hole laser, let me just see if I'm right. It is a hole laser. A hole laser damages your hull, first of all. If it hits an empty room, it does double damage, which is a little bit frightening, honestly. So maybe our shields get back online by the time it hits. I don't think it will, but... Okay, we managed to do it. Okay. So we gotta help our guy out here. We gotta take these systems offline so we can help our guy. We've gotta hit him in the shields, otherwise he's just gonna sit there and look at us. Hit him in the shields, hit him in the shields! Well, it hit him. We did take damage, though, so that's not necessarily a good thing. However, because we took damage, we just keep firing now. Screw that. It already hit us once. Let's just keep shooting. We do want to take our weapons offline right now, because there's a hull laser coming, and we really don't want to get hit by that. Oh, and he's down for the count! Good job, drone. 2 missiles, two fuel, 1 missile, 11 scrap. Excellent job. Excellent, excellent job. Now, we need to put our engines back online. Alright. No, wait. No, you go back to piloting. We need to get the hell out of here. You don't need to go into the engines. We can get out of here now. As soon as he gets back to the weapons, we'll leave. Also, because I did get enough scrap, I'm going to put 1 more power into the reactor, so we'll be able to bring more things online at once. Alright, now we've had our fun in the nebula. Let's head to this distress beacon. We've got to get to the exit, which is down there for right now, but... Find this it's just called a small research station. It appears a small laboratory fire got out of control and is threatening to destroy the station. Their fire suppression system is not responding. Okay, see, I know this mission. If I send my crew in, one of them may die. If I dock, I may take damage. If I had a special crewman, I would be in no risk at all, and I'd get some sweet loot. But there's also a chance that sending my crew in might just work, so we're going to do that. Your crew valiantly keeps the fire at bay long enough to allow some of the scientists to escape, but it appears to be a losing battle. Before long, you order the retreat. The few scientists they were able to save are distraught, but gratefully you'll drop them off at the next station. Yes! I didn't lose anyone! That counts as a victory for me, since I got 22 scrap out of that. Which means, if I go in here again, I can boot up... let's see... What should we boot up? We should boot up, engines? Sensors? Doors? What do we have right now? If we bring on that, and that, we have 1 power left. Okay. We're gonna boot up power a little bit more. That way we can bring on everything to full, including our anti-ship drone. Everything at full is always a good thing. Anyway, let's jump to the next place. So we dealt with the distress beacon, we need to get there. Because we're no longer in the nebula, the rebels are right behind us again, so we gotta get a move on. Because the rebels don't dilly-dally. Receive a transmission. Sorry, sir, there's nothing personal, but we're under orders. The rebel ship's weapons go hot. Interesting. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to destroy you. You're the same shit that I fought a little while ago, except you have less weapons, and I have weapons online now. Good luck. Oh, I forgot to auto-fire, so my dude's literally my weapons are just sitting there not firing. Now see, that's a problem. He just shot us with a beam, which does hull damage, or does a lot of damage. It hits across the thing. It cannot go through shields, though. The problem is, our shields are offline because of that beam. But so are our engines. So, see, the laser literally does nothing to the engines. So we're just lasering this guy out right now. I'm keeping his shield offline, the drone's doing all the damage. Alright, everything's fully repaired. Go back to your weapons station. Because having him at weapons does a little bit more damage. Or not a little bit more damage, a little bit faster speed. Drone parts, fuel, and scrap. Excellent. Where are we going next? We have a distress beacon and a store. We should be able to hit both of those, actually. So, let's head to the distress beacon, then the store. Maybe we'll get some scrap. Once you arrive at the location of the distress beacon, distress call, a civilian ship hails you. Thank you for responding to our beacon. Our FTL navigation has gone haywire, and we couldn't plot a course to the nearest depot to get fixed. Could you lead us there? Okay. This is a quest. They give us a little bit of scrap as a down payment. Then they give us this. This is a quest marker. We have to get them there before these guys catch us. Well, there's a store right here. I don't think the store can make the jump, though. I can't make the jump from the store to this quest, so we're gonna have to go back around, which is gonna take us... Fuck. Asteroid fields. A pirate ship was laying in wait inside the asteroid field as it immediately moves into attack. Alright, well... hit them in their oxygen supply. That ought to do some damage. Alright, drone's up. Everything's up. Auto-fire's on. Let's do this. Oh, and an asteroid immediately takes out their engines! Good job, asteroid. Oh, and their engines again! I'm content with keeping their engines up with their oxygen offline, but they're not... Uh-oh. Someone repair that. We need our drone online, damn it. Alright, you win. Here's some equipment from our stores. Leave us be. 4 fuel, 1 drone part, 11 scrap, and a fire beam. Ooh, I'll take it. I'll take your surrender. I'm gonna sit here and see if you die by asteroids. It'd be so funny if he died by asteroids. I don't think asteroids can hit him anymore. Fire beam. It's a beam weapon that starts fires. That's a pretty damn accurate way of putting it. However, we need 2 more power to the weapon system to be able to power it up, or to power off the ion blast. Then we can power that on. And we have an extra power to put somewhere else. So, all right, we're ready to jump. So let's get to the quest beacon. We won't be able to check out the store. We might just make it to the exit, but we won't be able to check out the store. Ship you were escorting, thanks you. I don't think we could have made it without your help. Let my friends patch up some of your hole and show you some of your wares. Oh, look, we got a store anywhere! Sweet! Oh, man. Hang on, I gotta drink some water for this. Okay, hopefully that'll last me a little while. Only problem is, I can't afford anything here. However, I could sell this fire beam. It does take 20 damage seconds to fire. Terrifying beam does no physical damage, but ignites fires. Beam damage is reduced by 1 for every shield it passes through, which allows for partial shield piercing. However, it only has enough power to pierce through 0 shields, so it can't pierce any shields. Fires are useful, but there's a Mantis crew member here. Mantis are the opposite of the Engi. They have less repair speed, but they have more damage in combat, and they move slightly faster as well. Oh, now the thing is, do I sell my weapon and get a crew member, or do I live on with only 3 crew members? Now, admittedly, having multiple crew members of different species is an excellent idea, because each one of them opens up different options with different people. Like, say I have a Mantis on my crew and I go through a Mantis-controlled world. Hello? I have one of your guys on my team. How about we have some fun times, huh? Stuff like that, you know? But I think I'm gonna keep the fire beam. And I'm definitely not selling my drone. I made that mistake once when I first played this. Do not sell your drone. Don't ever sell your drone. Anyway, if we juice up the weapons a little bit, we should. That's stepping towards being able to fire more than 1 weapon at a time. But we'll get to that eventually. Yeah, we're barely gonna make this. We're barely gonna make this. Alright, let's see what we got. We see a civilian space station with heavy damage. You receive a message. We've been hit hard by the war. We need more drone parts to speed up our repairs. We'll buy some from you if you have extra. I have a lot of drone parts, but I mean, that's a lot of scrap, but I need drone parts because I use them. I'm gonna have to ignore you guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're barely gonna make it past the rebels. Usually there isn't anything at the last FTL jump, but sometimes there is. Just be careful. Oh, look! You spot a small rebel ship nearby. It seems they have been refitted for transport rather than combat. It does not seem they want to engage your ship. Okay. This is good. Ships that have been refitted for transport usually have some sweet loot on them. So, they don't want to fight. They're trying to escape. That's important. You can take out their engines or the pilot, and they won't be able to escape. Which is pretty important, in my opinion. Alright. Fire up the drone, fire up the ion blast. Actually, better idea. Shift 1? No, okay, wait, get rid of that. Right-click that. Open up the fire beam. Let's see what this baby can do, shall we? Once this baby's charged up, we'll see if the drone has taken down any of their shields. We'll set a fire right across in the engines, weapons, and shield section. Our drone should be able to take out their shield fairly reliably. That's a lot of lasers. Luckily, they all missed, because they all suck. Anyway, our fire beam is just about ready. We have weapon lock. Oh my goodness, look at that weapon. Wait for it. Oh, their shields were offline. Go! Alright. Now, we didn't do any hull damage, but we don't have sensors on their ship. So they may be on fire. They may heavily be on fire right now. So, because the fire beam takes so long to charge back up, we're going to take our ion blast online, and we're going to start shooting at them. Because we need them to not escape. Because they will relay our position to the rebel fleet. And that's not a good thing. gotta keep their engines offline at all chances, at all cost. If my drone could hit them, that would be excellent. Okay, see, this is bad. We now have a fire in the shield area, and our O2 system is down. Oh, crap. Okay, well, we have more than enough oxygen to live for right now, so we're gonna try and get that shield system repaired, including the pilot. The pilot's gonna go in there too, because fire is a big deal. We gotta get that fire under control. Alright, fire is under control. You go there. Ferry, you go repair the oxygen system. Alright. Picard, get back to piloting the ship. What are you doing out there? Who told you to do that? Oh, wait, I did. Okay. We're in damage, but they're dead, so we're good. Ship was apparently transporting weaponry, however, nothing seems to have survived the battle. Damn! But we got some scrap. Okay, so everything's being repaired at the moment. Drone control's offline. You guys go in there and fix that. They should be able to fix it up rather quickly. The nice thing about the anti-ship drone only taking up 2 power is if the drone system control system gets hit for 1 damage, it'll take off 1 power bar there. But the anti-ship drone will stay on because it only needs 2. Which is good, obviously. Anyway. So we don't have nearly enough power to jump anything else, and we are actually doing badly for a hull. Hull does not get repaired, except by stores. So, next sector. Now we can go either into the Pirates or the Rock. Oh, man. Okay, let's see where this leads, though. The Pirate sector, which is this one, leads into 2 civilian sectors, 2 nebulas, and a lot of more civilians. So we could go this way and have a pretty easy way the rest of the game, or we could go this way and have a pretty hard game the rest of the way. Now, admittedly, easy doesn't actually live in this game. There is no easy in this game. Even if you turn on easy mode, it's not easy. In fact, easy mode is, if anything, harder. So, we'll head down this way. A few years ago, this region was bustling with trade activity. Now it is overrun with bandits and marauders. You should tread lightly here. Probably. Anyway, get you to weapons, your shields. Yes. Alright, everyone's in their places. We have a distress beacon right next to where we came out. That's interesting. Hello, we used our last FTL fuel to jump to the station.